This conference will now be recorded.
Hi guys, good morning. Okay, so yesterday someone was asking a question in interview regarding the limitations of Azure Data Factory. Limitations means the maximum number of the capabilities like limitations of Azure Data Factory. Limitations of the Azure Data Factory. So the limitations of the Azure Data Factory means like a maximum number of pipelines, max number of activities in a pipeline, max number of integration runtimes, max number of integration runtime, and also we have several things over here. Yeah. So in one Azure data factories in Azure subscription, for one subscription you can create 800 data factories. Okay, for one particular subscription you can create 800 data factories. 800, and total number of entities such as pipelines, dataset, triggers, linked services, and integration runtimes within a data factory. So total, whatever it is, the count of pipelines or activities or linked services or triggers, everything should be less than 5,000. Okay, everything should be less than 5,000. It should not be on more than the 5,000 over here. All right, 5,000. And the total CPU cores for Azure SSIS integration runtime under one subscription is 256. And at a time, how many pipelines you can able to run for a data factory? Okay, that is 10,000 pipelines you can able to run. So similarly, we have so many options over here. So how many authoring windows you can able to open for one particular data factory? That is concurrent authoring operations for subscription is 200. Means 200 development data factory windows you can able to open, and maximum activities per pipeline, which includes inner activities for containers, is 40 only. This is very important option. Okay, so this is the one. The maximum number of activities in a pipeline is 40. Maximum number. The maximum number of linked integration runtimes. The maximum number of linked integration runtimes can be created against a single self-hosted integration runtime is 100. Maximum number of linked integration runtimes that can be created against a single self-hosted integration runtime. So on one integration runtime, by using an integration runtime, you can able to create 100 linked services. And maximum number of parameters 50. And for each items means one for each loop container, how many items it can able to exist is 10,000. For each parallelism, at a time parallelly, how many maximum number of times you can able to run your for each loop container is 20 only. And the maximum number of characters in expressions, you are writing some dynamic expressions, right? So that is 8,000 here. And the minimum tumbling window trigger interval 15 minutes. Okay, you cannot run every 5 minutes or every 2 minutes. maximum timeout for a pipeline activity runs 7 days. Okay. The maximum number of DTUs. So for your Azure integration runtime, you should have some data integration units. So for copy data activity run, maximum you can assign 256 integration runtimes. 256 integration runtimes. Sorry, data integration units. Okay, so these are the important things. So please keep in your mind. And so maximum number of pipelines. So what is the maximum number of pipelines? Pipelines within a data factory maximum 2500. 2500. Data sets within a data factory 5000. So there is no limit for the number of integration runtimes. No limit. Okay. So these things you need to keep in your mind. Okay. So now what I'm going to discuss, Azure Key Vaults. So what is Azure Key Vault and how can we make this Azure Key Vault to be used to Azure Data Factory? Azure Key Vault is basically storing of your sensitive information. Azure Key Vault is storing of the sensitive information. The sensitive information includes secrets, certificates, okay, storing of the sensitive information, secrets, certificates, and keys. So let's say for example, I have a SQL server, Azure SQL database. Azure SQL database contains server name, DB name, password. So with the combination of all these things, we are calling it as a connection string. So this connection information, when you are going to use inside the data factory, I don't want to keep this connection string information inside the data factory, even for a blob storage also. So blob storage contains some secret key, that is keys you have, right? So this keys information, if you are specifying inside the Azure Data Factory, that means your sensitive information of this databases you are keeping inside the data factory. Here we are using data factory to connect to this too, but any other third-party applications wants to read this blob storage or Azure SQL database, at the time giving this sensitive information will not give a good practice. It is not more securable. So in that kind of situations, what we will do, this sensitive information of these two things, we are going to store inside a wallet. Azure Key Vault is something like a wallet. So inside that wallet, you can save, and that information, we are just linking this Azure Key Vault to Data Factory. So in between, we are using a medium. So this information I will save inside this one. When I'm going to connect from Data Factory, I will read that information from the Azure Key Vault only. I'm not going to store anything inside the Data Factory. So how to do this one? Let's see. So first I'm going to create a Azure SQL database. Let's log into the Azure portal, azure.com. Sign in. Azure portal. Okay, let me create SQL databases. Click on create. So free trial version, resource group E classes project 1. The database name I'm going to make it as a sample database. Create a server as well. E classes ITSAP E classes. Click OK. Create a elastic pool. Review and create it. Alright, so it's creating still. Okay, so go to the resource. So I want to connect from the Azure Data Factory to this SQL server. So you need to set up the server firewall first, add client IP, and allow the Azure services and resources to access the server. Click on save it. Okay, so click OK. Now we can take the connection string. So simply you can go to here. Yeah, connection strings. So here you can copy your connection string. Copy this and keep inside a notepad. By using this connection string, I'm going to connect. Alright, so now we can go to the data factory. Meanwhile, if you want to create one simple table also, you can able to. I just want to create a linked service. I just want to test the linked service. How to create a linked services by using Azure Key Vaults. Okay. Create a table emp, employee number integer, employee name, varchar, salary integer. Done. Okay. Now let me go to the Azure Data Factory. So we don't have any Azure Data Factory. Click on create. Okay, review and create it. Okay, so simply go to the resource. Right, so let me go to the Azure Data Factory. Okay, let me sign out from here. Because other account it is taking. Okay, so now let me go to the linked services. So generally, if you want to create a linked service to your SQL Server, you will go to the SQL database, Azure SQL database, click on continue, say auto resolve integration runtime, and you are going to specify the subscription and the server name and the database name, right? So all the information you are providing over here, even the username, e-classes, and password, sensitive password also you are going to specify over here. So this is not the best practices. We should not give all these sensitive details over here. Okay, the server name and database name is sample database, and so test the connection. You are able to create the linked service. I don't want to keep all this username, password, and database name, server name over here. So in that kind of situations, you need to select instead of password, instead of connection string here, that connection string I'm going to pass from the Azure Key Vault. So to pass from the Azure Key Vault, first you need to create a Azure Key Vault service and save your connection information over there. This one. Okay. Let me go to the Azure Key Vault over here. So simply go to your Azure Key Vault. See, there is a Key Vault service available. Click on create. Subscription free trial and the resource group e-classes project 1. Key Vault name I'm going to give it as a e-classes Key Vault HTS and pricing time standard review and create it. Okay. Click on create. Okay, so simply go inside this. So what you are trying to save over here. So I'm going to save my secret. So click on this secrets. So click on generate or import a secret. Create a secret. So what is the name you want to give? SQL connection information. Okay. So that connection information you need to save over here. So what is the password of your SQL server? The password is this one. Okay. This is your server name. This is your database name, password. So simply copy this one. Go over here. Keep inside under the value. Okay. Then just enable this one. Do you want to set any activation date and expiry date for this key vault? You can put it. So simply create it. Done. So a secret has created over here. Okay. So you need to give access to your data factory on this key values. So where you can give under the access policies, you need to add a access policy. This user has permission, but Azure Data Factory service also need access. Simply click on add access policies. So what are all the things you want to give access? I want to give access all kind of permissions, update, create, delete, import, and what secret actually. So you don't need to worry about these keys and the certificates. So, but I'm giving access to everything and select a principal. So to whom you want to give access? So I want to give an Azure Data Factory. Simply click on none selected here. What is your data factory name? My data factory name is E classes SAP fact. E classes SAP fact. Type it for that one. E classes. See here. So I'm giving access to this particular service on the secrets saved inside this key vault. All these kind of permissions. Okay. Click add. Then don't forget to save it. Click on save it. Done. So your sensitive information is now available inside the Azure Key Vault. Okay. So simply you can now go inside. I don't want to provide this sensitive information. I want to provide this sensitive information through the key vaults. So how to access the key vaults first? To access the key vaults, whatever the secret you have saved inside, that information if you want to access, first you need to create one linked service to key vaults. So create a new linked service, key vaults. Select the Azure key vaults, click continue. I'm going to give this Azure key vault for SQL. Any name you can give, and so try to connect to your key vault from the free trial subscription. What is your Azure key vault name? e-classes keyword, right? So then test the connection, click on create. So now we can create a linked service to SQL Server database. SQL database, click continue, and I want to select Azure keyword. I already created a linked service to Azure keyword, so use that linked service. What is that? Azure keyword SQL. Just now I created a linked service that I am using. So what is your secret name? Secret name is nothing but whatever the secret you created, right? Under the secrets you stored your connection information. So that name you need to specify over here. SQL connection. Okay. So simply go to type that SQL connection. So that is the secret we are going to use. SQL connection. Done. Now we can test this. Click on create it. Alright. Now we can use inside our data factory while you are creating the data sets. This whatever the SQL database I have used. You can use that linked service. Go to the linked service, Azure SQL database, click on create. I hope it's clear, right? Any questions so far on this Azure keywords? Alright, so this is how you can use the Azure keywords. The further things what we need to discuss in this Azure Data Factory is Azure DevOps Git repository configuration, and the second one is Azure deployment of the pipelines into different environments using CI/CD pipelines and Azure Data Factory triggers. Triggers means for scheduling of your pipelines, we are using this one. Total how many sessions we have done for this Azure Data Factory till now? So 3 more sessions required for to complete this one. Till now, how many sessions we have done for this Data Factory?
I think 26, 24 or 26.
No, only Data Factory.
Starting sessions.
13 sessions.
Yeah.
Okay. So 13 means 3 more. So total 16 sessions. Ideally, it should be allocated only for 8 to 10 sessions. Okay, anyhow. So we don't have session tomorrow. The next session will be on Monday. I will complete this one. Once this is completed, I will jump to the Databricks. Okay, I will jump to the Databricks, and so any other pending topics like Azure Synapse or Azure Cosmos. Databricks will take around six sessions. It will take. Okay, I will teach some PySpark over here with few scenarios. Hardly 6, 10, around 15 sessions required to complete all the topics. I think there are batch number 48 people, 46 people. What are all the batch numbers we have inside this one? 46 and sorry, 48. And what are the other batch numbers we have?
46.
46 and 48. These two only batches we have. So for 46 people, what are the topics pending? I hope Databricks is completed for you guys, right?
No, Ram.
Okay. All right. Then okay, fine. So 15 more sessions required to complete other topics. What about Azure Cosmos? Is it completed? No, right? And Azure Analysis Services completed for everyone, right?
Yeah, yes.
Azure SQL, Azure Analysis, and for 46 people, Azure Synapse is completed, right? Azure Synapse completed, and Azure Data Lake, and 46, 48. Synapse not completed for 48, I think. Streaming analytics completed, right? Live stream job analytics for 46.
Azure Data Lake is not completed for 48 batch.
Data Lake, okay. Azure Data Lake Gen 1, Gen 2 is not completed.
No, Ram.
Okay. All right. So I want to end the call today. Let's meet on Monday. I don't have session for tomorrow. Mostly 15 sessions is required. 10 to 15 sessions to complete the whole part. By this first week of the September, we will complete. And book will be ready by this 3rd. So we are printing a book with the 500 of the pages here with all this content. So you will get the book.
Ram, by the time, can you post this running notes at least?
Yeah. So are you getting daily this one? I'm sharing. I will ask them to share every day.